I'm like, so that was your attempt at trying to hit a ball in the middle of the field, you know?
Yeah.
Because again, we don't teach it, we don't talk about it, we don't make them understand what you're supposed to do to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And you're right. I have to learn to be barrel accurate and how to control the barrel. And most kids aren't, because again, all we care about is how far we can hit it, because mom and dad are going to be happy and we're going to post on social media with our ball in our hand about how far we hit it. And we're going to pay $100 a session to a hitting guy that's going to teach launch angle, that's going to take a 100-pound female and teach her to hit the ball in the air.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're wasting our time here.
Yeah.
Hitting to me is in 3 phases. You got to learn to control the barrel. You got to learn to be able to hit the ball where you want to hit it. Once you learn to do that, then we can progress. We can start learning to leverage and trying to drive balls into gaps. So now we'll become your doubles type hitter.
Yeah.
We can stay back a little bit. We can look for balls, you know, on one side of the plate or the other. We can look for pitches that, you know, are drivable. And then once we do both of those and we get into 2-0, 3-1 counts and we want to try and leverage things and we want to take a little bigger swing and we want to try and drop the barrel head, fine. But in our game, we're not teaching that, Randy, and so we don't get kids to phase 3 very often. There are some, you know, there are those of you out there that are teaching kids to do things correctly and that have that type of kid that's athletic enough to do it. But to take a 120-pound female and start teaching her at 12 years old to try and lift the ball makes no sense to me, because again, national championships and World Series appearances at Arizona State and at Auburn were taught hitting the ball on the ground, line drives, ground ball. And even watch Major League. In 162 games, those guys will try and hit the ball 500 feet, and as soon as it gets to postseason, all of a sudden you see guys taking the ball back up the middle, hitting the ball the other way, because they can. But that's not how they're paid. They get those big salaries to see how far they can hit it. So for 162 games, they just see how far they can hit it. But as soon as it becomes important, bang, all of a sudden, ground balls up the middle, hitting the ball, you know, with runners at third base, trying to score runners. The whole game changes. But again, that's not fun for mom and dad, and they're not paying you, and my kid's never going to get recruited. The heck they won't. They'll get recruited 100 times more if I go and watch a kid with a runner at third base, shorten the thing up, and hit a ground ball in the middle and be happy about it.
With some intention, right?
Right, and not go to the dugout and put their head down and be mad, and mom and dad are pacing around in the bleachers because they didn't get a hit.